Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Eastern Kentucky mourns the loss of a woman who put tourism on the map here in our region. And the people of Floyd County gathered to remember the life of a young girl gone too soon.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. Almost 5 o'clock here on your Wednesday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Thanks so much for waking up with us this morning. And if you've looked out the window, you might notice it's foggy in some areas this morning. I know especially here in Hazard, and of course it's a cold morning. So let's head over to Brandon for a look at that. Yeah, Brandon, I left my jacket in my car and it's still cold. And I'm like, ooh, I need to warm up.
You're always leaving something behind. You
literally.
left your rain jacket yesterday. You left your suit jacket this morning. I need you to get your life together, Dakota.
Yeah, well, I wore my rain jacket yesterday when I got home. Of course, I didn't put it back in my car. Right. So I'm never prepared.
Come on now. Let's get to it. But you're right. It is foggy out there this morning. We take a look at satellite radar. Clouds are on the way back in. Not quite here just yet. That's leading to some cooler temperatures this morning. But the fog is the main story, the main character out there this morning as we head through the first part of your day. So we're going to continue to watch that be an issue for us to the south. Now, even though the sensor at Hazard is showing full visibility, that sensor is up on the ridge at the Wendell Ford Airport. Down here in town, I can tell you that is definitely not the case. So the further south you are, the better the chance you're going to wake up to some dense fog this morning. So be careful. I know a couple of counties have a dense fog advisory out for a little while this morning. So just kind of keep that in mind. Temperatures across the board, 30s and 40s. Looks like 31 is our cool spot over in Clintwood in Southwest Virginia. And it looks like 47 in Prestonsburg and Pikeville are our warm spots, at least for the moment. We'll see how that plays out for us. So a normal day to a little extra on your coffee meter this morning because the chill is back. Out the door, I do think we see mainly cloudy skies today. And I say that because I don't want to rule out a few peaks of sunshine. I think we'll get to 60 or just about it today because we got some warm winds coming in. But I also think that we'll see a straight chance for a passing shower before the day is up and more rain chances tonight. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, Pike County is mourning the loss of a woman who put tourism on the map here in Eastern Kentucky. Our Jordan Mullins has more on the life and legacy of Phyllis Hunt, who friends and coworkers say she'll never be forgotten.
77-year-old Phyllis Hunt of Pikeville died on January 2nd, and those who knew her say she loved her community.
She was so kind and so sweet. She loved Pikeville. She loved Pike County. She loved her family. She loved her friends. But most of all, she loved her church.
As the Pike County Tourism Director for 11 years in the 90s and early 2000s, Hunt was the first to showcase the region's history, especially the infamous Hatfield-McCoy feud.
The peace treaty, that was Phyllis's, that was one of her very prominent projects of bringing the descendants home to Eastern Kentucky and the West Virginia border. That's the staple in this community of who you are is what you carry with you.
Working to show the world what Eastern Kentucky had to offer.
But she was the one that really got tourism going to showcase our territory and our people.
And to many, Hunt is irreplaceable.
As someone looking up to hope to fulfill other people's shoes, there would only be one Phyllis Hunt.
Leaving a hole in the hearts of Pike County. In Pikeville, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Pike County Tourism Executive Director Tony Tackett says Hunt's dedication and impact on the region will be felt forever. And in Floyd County, people gathered at the Betsy Lane Community Park to remember the life of a young girl gone too soon. 15-year-old Kylie Clark of Harold died on Sunday in a Lexington hospital. A freshman at Pikeville High School, Kylie was born with a heart defect and had 4 open heart surgeries. Her father, Barry Clark, is a pastor of the Betsy Lane Free Will Baptist Church, where she was also a member. Fellow community members and close friends of the Clark family say Kylie was a miracle and a bright light in the community.
She was so stoic and brave. She never asked why. She was just a living miracle and just a reminder of God's ability and willingness to answer our prayers and let us have Kylie for 15 years.
Kylie's visitation will be at Hall Funeral Home on Thursday and Friday. Her funeral is set at 1 p.m. on Saturday in the Alumni Auditorium on the campus of Pikeville High School. Yesterday, staff and students celebrated Leslie County High School senior Jana Caldwell returning to school. Last fall, Jana was diagnosed with thyroid cancer after a recent surgery, and good news from the doctor, she returned to school. As a cancer survivor, her teachers say it's been amazing seeing her strength, and they are thrilled she's back.
I was just amazed, which she's an amazing girl, and she just came through it better than I could have, better than anybody. And I'm just amazed at what a strong and awesome person that she is, which I knew she was, but this just shows it even more.
Faculty and students at each school in the district were asked to wear pink, purple, or teal in honor of Jana on Tuesday. Well, we are still tracking the COVID-19 and flu situation across the Commonwealth. Even though hospitals have not seen a post-holiday spike in COVID and flu numbers, health experts say it's still important to maintain healthy habits as we begin a new year. Many health gurus were worried about an uptick of COVID and flu cases after holiday gatherings, and while COVID cases are increasing in the Lexington area, the situation remains at a manageable level. Health experts say it's important to stay vigilant.
COVID exhaustion is real. You know, we're tired of getting sick. Some of us have had COVID multiple times. We're exhausted from that. We're tired of that. We're tired of every time we hear our kiddos cough, wondering, oh no, do they have a fever? Is it a dry cough? Is it a wet cough?
Dr. Stephen Stack says he is proud of how those in Kentucky have come together the last few years to take care of their own health while looking out for the betterment of the community. Supply chain issues have impacted a number of medicine shortages, but doctors said a diabetes-related medication might be among one of the worst. Ozempic is used to treat people with type 2 diabetes. It's also FDA approved for some people with cardiovascular risk factors that meet certain criteria. Meanwhile, doctors have also discovered it helps with weight loss, and they are able to prescribe off-label and use safely for people who are obese.
When this medication was released, all of a sudden we now have more indications for it. So it was released with the idea of here's a great diabetes drug. Oh wait, now it works for heart failure. Oh wait, now it's working for obesity. So you've tripled its indication, but you haven't been able to triple its production.
Kentucky Health News reports the number of people living with diabetes in the state has increased to 28% since 2011. Doctors say patients prescribed the medicine should let their pharmacists know when they get down to a week supply so they can be prepared for a refill. Well, thank you so much for getting your Wednesday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, California continues to deal with the threat of mudslides as the ground remains saturated after many rounds of heavy rain.
And while the fog is the issue this morning, it'll be showers and storms by this time tomorrow. I'll have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.